Welcome back. I knew you were going to say that.
That's what I said. You grabbed it. Yeah.
No.
Welcome back to another
Family Room.
Welcome back to another Family Room here on Family Room.
Here on PBS Kids.
This is where we dive deeper into. There goes the copyright strike.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
just kidding. Where we dive deeper into Sunday's message. This week we are continuing in our, I almost said built different again. We haven't been in that one for a while. In our Undeniable Authority series through Luke, chapters 7 and 8, rather. Excuse me.
Your timer's stressing me
We're
out.
in 8. And so we're here to discuss Sunday's message, which was more like hopefully a rallying cry for the war that we are involved in here in Christianity. But hit us with the announcements.
Okay. Oh, come on. All right. So we have Dining with Dignity this Friday from 5:30 to 6:30. I do have a group on the app and on Facebook if you want to jump on. If you don't get a chance to, just honestly bring whatever side you can. We've got a couple meats, pulled pork, chicken, turkey. Just bring whatever side that you like to prepare. That's kind of the fun of it. Get to share your family recipes or something that you really love to
Anything.
make.
I would, just cook whatever's the most fun for you to cook, whatever's your most favorite thing.
Yeah.
Like, what a great time to do it, to bless someone else with it.
Yeah, for sure. So that's this Friday at 91 South Dixie Highway. That's right behind is that Winn-Dixie?
Yes.
Okay. So it's right behind the Winn-Dixie. It's, if you need anything, just message me. But it's 91 South Dixie Highway. Be there at 5:30. We set everything up.
There's big, like 10-foot tall or 8 or 10-foot tall wooden privacy fence that surrounds the whole area. So there behind Winn-Dixie, inside of there.
So you'll see a bunch of vehicles parked right there. Just park, and we'll set up the food. Jared usually prays by 5:45, and they start eating. And if you've got somewhere to be, Christy's homeless thing is at 7 o'clock. That's the sleep out. Sorry, I'm probably saying this wrong, but it is at 7 o'clock.
That's this weekend?
Yeah, that's this Friday.
Thing?
You can either sleep at the Tringali barn. Oh my gosh, I really hope I'm getting all this right because I'm just doing this off the fly.
It is there, or you can do it at home. I'll set ours up at home. I'll go sleep out in the pasture.
That's cheating, bro. You've been wanting to do that.
How's that cheating? It's still doing it.
Okay, we'll sleep with you. And the girls will want to do that too. Why do I feel like there's something going on that night too?
It's softball Friday night. That's why.
Oh, okay. All right. So you'll sleep out there after softball.
Yeah.
So you can participate. You can donate to it. It's just raising awareness for the homeless right now and not having, a secure place to head inside, especially with this weather. So if you want to participate in that, I'm going to message the women's group after this about that too. You can go on to our Facebook, and I did put the link in the details. If you can't find the link, you can always message the church Facebook, and I'll send it to you. So anyway, really quick, March coming up, because it's literally going to be March on Sunday. We have a couple things. Grief Share is still going on. We have some Fire Youth events going on. We've got a really fun day planned for Voyager Kids coming up too as well. What? Are you telling me to slow down? And then we have a fundraiser on March 3rd for Fire Youth as well. So, all right, that's it. Time.
Gosh, really quick. So today we're going to talk about undeniable authority. So we're here to discuss Commission for Conflict, Luke chapter 7, verses, I think I did 1 through 10, because we did not go through the parable just yet. If you had something that stood out to you, and hopefully that lady that I asked that question in the middle of the service wasn't
never coming back
wasn't
again.
No, I've seen her for some time.
Doesn't mean she's coming back.
She's not traumatized. But
I would die if you would have done that to me, and I know you.
I talk to you all the time in the message.
Yeah, but
and then you yell at me and you yell mean things. And people laugh.
You're not okay. I guess I have to come back though.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So anyways, so Jesus brings up a parable. It says the parable of the sower, but realistically, it's more about the soil than the sower. There's 4 different types of soil, and I know it didn't break down the parable, so we'll be in there, doing that next week here as well. Well, obviously on the family room, though. I mean, but it was more of I wanted people to realize 2 things. Okay, so why did Jesus speak in parables? Because he was revealing information to those that are aligned with him, that have an allegiance towards him, and it conceals information from those that are not aligned with him. And then also to know, like, I mean, we hear, oh, we're in warfare, and you hear about spiritual warfare, but until you kind of have your eyes open to what that looks like, you kind of just don't really understand what all that means.
Well, could it also be, don't yell at me if I'm wrong on this, but could it stop. Could it also be, ow, your watch broke my hand. Could it also be, I hope nobody was driving and you just did that. Like, that was really rude. Could it also be that, like say like with Riley's schoolwork, she's doing like, I don't know what she's doing, but say like she has, I do know what she's doing, but I just had a brain. She's asking, how to solve this problem. And if I give her the answer directly, versus kind of helping her, but she finds out how to finish it up and how to figure it out on her own.
Think about it. What makes
with the
you...
parables, if you told us directly what we want to know, then we're kind of like, oh, okay, thanks.
It's Proverbs...
Ow, my hand.
I don't remember what it is. Proverbs...
What is your watch made of?
Rubber and glass.
Concrete.
I can't remember where it is in Proverbs, but I brought it up Sunday. It's the glory of God to conceal matter, and the glory of kings to search it out. And like that, for one, you can't have a defense for the gospel, and you can't build your faith without being in the Word and rooted in the Word. But likewise, well, I don't want to say that because I'll bring it up Sunday. I'll bring up something on that hopefully Sunday if I remember. But one of the things, like I brought up with Western versus Eastern culture, is how we learn. So, what makes you retain more information? You just being told, okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then that's it. I just tell you the information. Well, no, if you take the time and I don't give you the answer, but I point you in the right direction, you go and seek it out, you go and write it down, you study it out, and you look, okay, well, what makes this, and what makes this? Not only are you now retaining more because you're ingraining it more, you're digging more out, then you're finding more things out. So it's just this like snowball effect of, until you actually go searching for the truth, you don't have truth. And then today's age where, we can't even tell what's real all that much anymore because of how quickly AI is progressing. You now more than ever, you need to start seeking out the truth, because if you just take everything at face value, man, in the next few years when they can put anyone's face with whatever voice.
I mean, if you don't know what a horse looks like, and they show you an AI image of a horse with an extra tail, then you don't know what a horse looks like, you're going to be like, yeah, that's a horse. I mean, right?
That's a dorse.
Would it be a torse?
Torse. No, because that would be 3. That's a horse with 3 tails.
Oh.
Thorse.
Okay. All right, first discussion question.
I'm going to throw a curveball at you.
Nope, this is the one I didn't really want to read because it makes me feel, ugh. How does understanding that we are souls with bodies rather than bodies with souls change the way we approach spiritual warfare in our daily life? Well, after your tummy hurts after reading that. Oh, no. Was it you or was it something that I listened to that was talking about, maybe it was you, I'm not sure, talking about just all the things that we'll believe in, but we can't believe. We'll believe in angels, but we won't. It was you. It was Sunday. Yeah. No, I knew that. You were talking about... You were talking about how, we'll believe in angels and everything, but we won't believe in demons.
Yeah, there was a statistic. I don't know.
I mean, I know they're real because they showed them in my
Now I
room
know
all
why
the time.
why Joe Rogan has that other guy. Jamie, pull that up. There's a statistic of I can't remember what it is, of people that that they believe in angels in heaven, and the statistic that those same people don't believe in demons or hell. And I mean, you literally cannot believe in one and not believe in the other. Like, it's just like by default, if one of this is true and we know that it entails all of the rest, then you can't just negate the rest.
It's scary.
But it's
the other
just
stuff is scary. You don't want to think about the possibility. Is this weird that every time I see...
But see, that makes it no longer ignorance of the truth. That makes you actively choosing to reject it just because
I'm
it's
not
scary.
doing that.
No,
I'm
I'm not
just
saying
saying.
you. I'm just saying.
Don't start
in
doing
general.
this on the table at me, buddy. So anyways, is it bad that every single time that and this is like the last couple years, well, and more recently in the last 2 years, every time I see, and this is probably going to sound so judgmental and like really, really bad, because it probably is, but every time that I see on, Facebook or something, and it'll be someone has passed away, unfortunately, and I always see comments like, just like guardian angel, like they just say a lot of things.
They're in a better place.
100% saying that with all 100% facts that they're in heaven, and I'm reading it, and I'll either know the person, and I'm like, ooh. But again, I don't know their heart because I don't, but...
Well, yeah, that's a heavy...
I'm not, because if I'm like, no, they probably don't make it to heaven, that's me being in the judgment seat, and I am not that. I don't know their heart, but you kind of have I don't know how to put that, but...
there's
you
two
read
things.
it, even if you don't know that person, and you see, that's
still see
just
their
the
fruit.
default. Well, no. I'm just saying, like, everyone's response when the person dies, there's that default,
Yeah.
they're in heaven. And I'm like, and I'm always looking, I'm like, maybe they're not. And it's just always that, I won't ever say this, but almost I'm like, but are they, in the comments, and of course I would never do that.
Suggest.
I'm not, but that's my like, that's just my like,
God.
yeah.
No, because I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, you're not trying to make a judgment call. It's just...
But it's like this default that everyone automatically
because we
assumes.
want that. People are, for one, they're afraid of death. They don't want death to happen. So then we do everything that we can to try and avoid death. But then, there's also, especially in the South, it's like God is kind of so ingrained in the culture. Not that everyone is, living correctly and serving God, but it's just kind of like, God, guns, in America kind of thing in the South. And, we're gonna go to church on Christmas and Easter and Mother's Day, and we'll say the prayer. There's like
It's a cultural
it's
norm.
like a cultural norm, although they still don't live correctly. So it's like, that's depressing in and of itself, because they think that just believing that God exists, that's only half of it. But the other side is...
Do they really?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's there, but you don't live like he's there.
Oh, it's like, I know I'm not supposed to put my elbows on the table, but that doesn't mean I believe that that's a bad thing if I put my elbows on the table. I was just taught, don't put my elbows on the table,
Yeah.
So it's like, if
for
you're just...
some, they just say, but like, there are some people, they're like, I believe in God, but they don't live as if they believe in God. So then that's even worse, because it's like, God is there, there's a truth, and by design you should be knowing that how you're living, if you're living in sin, is wrong. And that's the thing with like all the stuff with funerals that's sad, where it's they're in a better place. Like, okay, well, we don't know.
They're in a place.
You could make somewhat, I suppose, not to sound rude, but you could make an inference, I guess would be the best way to put it, based upon the fruits of their life. So if someone is, they're a murderer, or they went on a murdering spree, and then they robbed all these stores, and then they get killed in a shootout with the police, I'm going to wager they're probably not going to be embracing Jesus on the other side. But, ultimately, yes, no one here knows, so we can't fully make the judgment call. Only God can, and that's a good thing. But it's also the scary thing because it's like, okay, y'all just operate under once someone dies, we want to suddenly believe that they're in a good place because even if
It
they
comforts
don't
you.
live for God, they still at the end want to know that God's there and they want to be in heaven. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're doing all the things that, in believing in Jesus or whatever. They haven't done that believing and accepting and following Jesus, like truly placing their life and belief in Jesus is, or you know what I'm saying, like truly putting their faith in Jesus.
It's just so confusing. I've seen people say that type of thing. A couple particular people, one particular person that I flat out know rejects anything to do with God. I know. And someone had passed, it was their parents, they had passed and they put it in there, they're in a better place and stuff like that. And it just kind of, I don't know, I guess it triggered me because, you're
oh yeah, what's the better place?
Well, no,
you don't believe in God.
You're literally using this to comfort yourself. This has nothing to do. You're comforting yourself because it's someone you love, it's your parents, and they've passed away, and you want to be comforted being like, oh, well, they're in a much better place now, even though you're not willing to sacrifice anything in your life, and all you care about is using scripture and the possibility of heaven as a comfort for yourself.
See, the reason why that hits so much harder for you and that you're struggling with, well, I can't say this is why, but what I was working towards is that it's harder for us to see things like that as believers because we have eternity in our hearts, in our minds. We know, okay, there is a God, there is a better place, there is a better eternity, but we know the alternative for those that choose to reject him. Mm-hmm. So when you see stuff like that, it's like, okay, we can't just throw these empty words out and empty, condolences out when you're not living as if you believe they're true, because the reality is, what if they're not in a better place? And that's just there. It's just astronomically terrifying to think you're going to end up in the right place and then end up in
my stomach hurt.
The wrong place. Oh my goodness. What's the next question then?
Oh, it's just like the thing that, oh yeah, no, I'll like praying for you, and you don't pray at all.
Yeah, and we've said it before, but it bears repeating. If you ever get in the moment where you say, oh, I'm praying for you, just take the next 10 seconds and actually immediately pray for them. Just do it immediately. Don't write it down in your thing and make a note of it, whatever. If you want to pray extra later, that's fine. But I would say, we should honestly, as soon as we say, I'm going to pray for you, we should immediately just do it. And because it doesn't have to be, God knows our hearts, but if we intentionally, and that's completely left field, but I think it's a good habit to get into.
The pastor argues, shocker, that that hell does not attack what it already owns. How do we discern whether spiritual opposition in our lives is a sign of being on the right path or a wake-up call to examine our allegiance? Yeah. So on that, because I think a lot of people could be like, well, I have a pretty smooth season right now, that type of deal. So does that mean I'm living in sin? I think that when you say stuff like this, you have to look at overall, because right now, our seasons seem to go in waves, like tsunami-sized waves. And, right now, I wouldn't say it's easy at all, but there's nothing like the court battle. There's nothing like that going on right now. So you could sit here and say, okay, everything seems to be like we can breathe for a second. We still are dealing with a lot of things and organizing things and fixing things and stuff like that. And it's still difficult. We're still stressed out, but it's not like I can't sleep at night because of what's going on in our life type of thing.
Well, now it's not so much running into walls as it is like a ship breaking through the ice, and it's tough, but we are advancing.
So I think, which is like the answer to everything. If you're sitting here and you heard, what you said, and you're like looking at your life and examining your life, that's something that you can literally, we're all for exposure. You can literally take that home and pray about it every day and make it a goal to pray every single, day or once a week or whatever, and just say, hey, listen, please expose. And we always talk about this with everything. Please expose if this is me just going along with Satan, or is it truly, am I in a little break right now, or what it is? Don't you agree?
Because it's always, we have seasons, in the valleys and seasons on the mountaintops. You have stuff where it doesn't look like God's anywhere around you, and then you have seasons where you're getting immensely blessed. So don't take that statement, obviously, and when you're in a season that God is blessing, you think, okay, well, I must be working for help. Like that's not
And
obviously what I meant by that at all. But it's, that's like that. It's like a self-reflection kind of thing. Like, okay, what am I doing lately? Because if you step back, because, we get so stuck in just like the day-to-day grind and everything, that when's the last time you stood back and thought about everything that you're doing and what's going on in your life? So, if you find that you're kind of just like not moving forward and everything, and life is just like one thing after another. Okay, well, let me step back. Okay, is there hidden sin in my life? Is there something that I'm doing that's wrong? Am I in a cycle of iniquity? Am I doing something that I have continually said like not to do, or whatever the Bible says don't do, or am I? Is God trying to get my attention because of that? Or am I, reading daily and praying daily? And is this just kind of like Job, where it's like, okay, well, I'm with God and I'm praying to God, and it's just a struggle right now, but, I don't see any reason why. It's just that self-reflection thing, because, you can get into a season where, maybe you're not as devoted, and you find yourself just distracted and kind of in a slump, and then you start seeing the spiritual attacks coming against you, and just all of this stuff. But obviously it's a generalized kind of thing, but if you're out living for the world and living in a way that doesn't look any different than the culture, because Christians are supposed to stand out and look different, we're supposed to be built different. But if you find that you're just kind of trucking along.
Yeah, you weren't saying what he's trying to say is it's not a one size fits all thing.
No.
It's you need to really, because anybody could walk up to you and tell you their circumstances and be like, hey, so am I living for Satan, or am I just in like a calm season? You literally don't have that right for that judgment call, because you don't know where their heart is. They can tell you where they think their heart is. So this is sincerely a thing between you and God. This has nothing to do. You can't go get advice on this. You can't go get, and of course, I say that, and in the same breath, I'm going to say, let's hold each other accountable. But
well, it's both, because yes, you do need to prayer. You need to be in prayer to God about it, because what's the typical human tendency? Okay, I'm struggling with something, but I'm gonna go seek someone for advice, or in modern terms, vent to them more than seek advice. And you go up and you tell them, okay, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And it makes your life sound horrible, but they have left the part out about how, well, I bought everything on credit cards, and I quit my job, and I've just been staying home from work and never working. And, okay, well, maybe, the collection notice and the foreclosure and all that stuff, and the reason you can't get a loan because your credit is so bad is because you have completely done X, Y, Z. But people tend to, when they're in a season, sometimes they want to hide what they have done. So if you go seeking advice from someone, you can get the wrong advice, and they'll go, "Oh yeah, it sounds like you're really under spiritual attack." And if you left out all the stuff on maybe why you're under spiritual attack, then you're in this false idea of, it's something that it's not. And you can go to a pastor and they can tell you, oh yeah, everything's great and you're fine. And meanwhile, you're completely living in sin, but you didn't tell him that. You just told him the parts of the story that makes it sound like spirit. See why you got to have both. Accountability and accountability to authority.
Yeah.
There we go. That made it
And
easier.
a Dorse.
Go to the next question.
Whatever. Okie dokie. All right. So, oh man, I lost it. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. One more because
Yep.
we have to get Mila. Anyway, so in what ways might we be listening to God's word without truly hearing it? And what practices can help us move from surface level reading to deep transformation?
I still want to go through and do a kind of like Bible study, short little online class, like a night on Zoom or something, and set that up to kind of go over
Oh Lord.
that kind of question. But so what ways
What
might
night
be?
are you gonna do that, dude?
Oh, it's fine. Because it wouldn't be. It's fine. I'll figure it out. But the ways that we listen instead of hearing it and that we don't apply it, loving our enemies, praying for people instead of screaming at them when they cut us off in traffic, finding all the fights that come from finding all the faults in our spouse versus looking past them.
Okay, all right. So hold on. Time out.
Nope. And because. And I think too, like a big one is gratitude. I've wanted to, and I've started to, in the mornings, when I'm just like praying with myself, taking more time to thank God for just literally like anything and everything. Like the other night, I was, just in the shower before going to bed, and just like thanking God, like the shower, just you just sit there because a lot of times, whatever.
That's what took so long.
But you just kind of, okay.
Okay.
And, just thanking God for like the gifts that we have. Because obviously in different parts of the world, people don't have running water. They don't have a shower.
Yeah, I caught myself complaining in front of Riley the other day. And the storage in our house absolutely is horrific.
Well, we have no garage.
We have no garage. And our shed that we have for things, whenever it's raining season, the water literally goes up to the floor. So it's very, very limited. We're working on it. It's limited. So, but it can be very, very frustrating. You have to get very, very creative with storage. Use a lot of those little vacuum seal bags. I mean, like there's no storage. The girls have a closet. We have a closet. That's it. And then there's a normal kitchen cabinet. There's it's just horrible. So I was in a great mood, and I was cleaning as she's doing school, and I just really frustrated. And I was like, oh my gosh. I said, the storage in this house drives me nuts. I was like, I can't stand it. And then I realized like Riley's right there, and I said, but I'm thankful that we have a house. And oh my gosh, it was so difficult to say that second stop. It's so difficult to say that part. But, in that moment, I realized, like, I wasn't saying that because I was truly grateful in the moment, because I was really aggravated. I was saying it because she was listening, and I didn't want her to get into that pattern. So it just made me realize that, I need to actually feel in my heart that gratitude sometimes. And I do most of the time, but sometimes it's really difficult, and not just say things out loud in a gratitude way just because somebody else is listening.
Yeah. And I think one of the practices, just to answer a little bit of this before I could dive farther into it on whatever night I can do this, is
do it when you're camping outside in the pasture.
One of the greater practices for Bible study is to, for one, you should always approach before you start reading, go into prayer and asking God, show me something, reveal to me something in here, reveal to me something I can speak to someone else about, and then slow down. Like, how many times Do you just read through something just to get through it, or read through it really fast, or just kind of skim it? And then how many times do you just slow down? Because the more you slow down, it says.
I don't know anybody that does that.
No, I think it's. Hold on, let me pull it up because I want to quote it correctly.
Okay. Oh, the guy's talking. That's not the same guy.
Blessed, Psalm 1:1, blessed is the man who walks not in the counsel of the wicked, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of scoffers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and on his law he meditates day and night. He doesn't just go to it not even just in the morning, day and night. He's constantly meditating on the word, on God's law at the time, which was, the Torah.
So you're saying that would move us to more from surface level reading to deep.
Surface level, because and I get it, and I'm not trying to say, I don't want people to think it's always like, oh, do more, but it's just being more intentional and actually having a relationship with God. So think about it. It's okay. Imagine, let's say, because prayer is also reading the word, and that's one of the ways that you learn to speak with God and converse with him. So imagine applying how you go to the word, apply that type of mentality and action towards how you go into a conversation with someone else. So if we're going to have a conversation and you're just like, blah, 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 just to get through it, okay, well, now there's no engagement, and you just showed me that you just needed to say what you wanted to say to get what needed to be done out of the way. So if you're just skimming just to read, you're never going to learn anything because you're not going to internalize it. The way that the psalmist said it right there in Psalm 1, the way that they studied it and the way that they did it was to meditate on it, to slow down, read over the block of scripture a few times, and just I'm telling you, slow down, look for movement in the text, look for different things, and then start asking questions. I'm telling you, this is why I want to give a class on this, because
do we need to have a conversation later?
What?
Are you upset about how fast I talk?
No. No, I'm just saying,
I can't look at my phone. I can't talk fast. I don't know what.
No, I'm just saying, think about it. Think about.
No, we got it.
If you are reading the word and you're just just to get through it, okay.
I don't make that noise.
Do you do that? Do you do that when you converse with your spouse, with your friends, with your children? If you do, you shouldn't.
Okay.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight because I got to get all this wrapped up. But we love you guys. Just a reminder, Saturday night is prayer every Saturday at 5 p.m. just for an hour. We definitely need more people there. Sunday morning, 10 a.m. Almost messed that up. 10 a.m. And then Tuesdays, we still have the Anchored Bible Study for now. And then if not, we'll see you next week right here
on PBS Kids.